Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining another session of the Offsite Wood Roundtable. Today, I'm really excited to be getting into timber curtain walls, and we have a great group. I'm going to let them jump right in. So we have Nic Catellier from RevitPure, who's helped us all along, whom you probably know, but he's helped us on the content here itself. So we're going to have him jump in, and then afterwards, we're going to introduce some great owners, teammates from two companies who come together for this system. We have Geneviève Constancis from Art Massif and Samuel Doyon Bissonnet and Felix Antoine Racine from Unicel Architectural. Thanks everybody for joining us. And Nic, let's jump in and see what you're building under the hood on this new Revit content for timber curtain walls.
All right, so you can see on my screen, you can see what I'm sharing. Okay, so curtain walls can be a little tricky in Revit. You have to really think about what you're doing. And the challenge of this system was that you have wood on the inside, but aluminum on the exterior. I think it's possible to have wood outside too. But by default in Revit curtain walls, you have to use the same materials for the mullions. So that was a small challenge that I managed to find a solution. It seems to be working great. But anyway, this is what the products looks like. So the use of curtain walls in Revit, you can select a grid line, for example, and move it in the curtain panels, and the mullions will automatically adjust. So it's really easy to quickly create a layout and adjust it. And everything will be adjusted automatically. Another interesting feature that I created is at the bottom of the screen here, you can see the level of details. Maybe if you're in a conceptual plan view, for example, you don't want to see all the details of the mullions, but you can switch to a fine detail view here, and now the detailing will pop up, which make detailing much easier. And basically, technical information gets embedded in the family, not just geometry. Although this is all 2D elements that is part of the model. And now I will showcase how to modify the dimension. I'm using what is called the global parameters. Here, when I can modify the sizing of multiple elements of the mullions. For example, I have a main with depth here that controls the vertical elements. So I'm going to boost this up to 500. You can see that both in the plan view, the detailing, and also in my 3D view, the mullions will get more depth. And the same thing with width. I could switch this to 60, for example, and the mullions would get thinner, like this, all of them. And what else can I do here? I can control the bottom, center, and top mullions independently. So again, this one, the bottom one, I'm going to switch it to 400. You can see how it's boosted. The center one, let's make it 150.
That is so cool, Nic. I would want to ask here because timber curtain walls are not something people generally design every day. So often when you have that really thick situation like that might be there's a lot of wind load, and we all know that Revit's not doing it's not doing engineering on its own. So the architect might be getting a guesstimate going, looking at this, but then would probably reach out to these companies who would work together with their on-staff engineers to get the actual sizing for the actual wind load in the actual spot, right?
Yeah. This is done from the architecture side, but there's no engineering calculations in this family. This is really a tool for architects, mostly, not really engineers.
That's cool. It's so amazing. I think I know I didn't really realize that there was this product segment, and this is a really cool tour. We're going to be working with you some more and their technical staff to make sure we integrate as much as we can. But I think I'd love to ask these guys a little bit about, I think the U.S. market really, you sort of came onto the scene all of a sudden in many people's eyes with a really cool multiple award-winning house project that got written up last spring. Is that right, guys? And do you think maybe, Samuel, you guys can start telling us about this amazing, beautiful project you did together?
Yeah, definitely. So this is a great project we did in collaboration with Art Massif. So what's very interesting about that house is that we have the timber curtain wall, and what's very unique is that this timber curtain wall is load bearing. So the curtain wall itself supports the load of the roof, and you've got curtain walls on all facades. So all the facades are completely glass and timber. So that was a first of its kind. It's a project we're really proud of. Um, some people often ask questions about privacy. There's a systems of shades. There's exterior shades that solve this aspect. So Felix or Geneviève, do you have more details about the specific projects you'd like to share? What was the species that was used again?
It was spruce actually on that project. It was red spruce, a kind of spruce that we didn't have a lot of knots in, and that's a very nice one.
So Geneviève, can I ask? Obviously, you look at a project like this, and you know that's not just a mullion company making mullions there. So Art Massif is a full structural company making a full custom structure, which can also include matching mullions. Is that correct? Can you tell us a little more about your team?
Yes, thank you, Eli. We are a full structure glue lamp structure manufacturer. So we do everything from the glue lamp all the way to the machining of the connectors, the hidden steel connectors. We do the steel design connectors. We designed the steel connectors, sorry about that, and all the way up to the installation of the structure. So we have teams for, the engineering team that will support the design, the designers, either architects or engineers. And then we can offer all the way up to installation. So we have a really good team that can support projects and glue lamp projects. Yeah.
That's great. And the offsite wood already contains the logic for your structural system. So an architect can actually download those components, design a structure in Revit. And now once we publish this, they will also be able to design matching timber curtain walls, which can have the same species or finishes. And that's super, Geneviève. I know you have to run pretty quickly, so I'm going to let Unicel tell us some more about their company, but thanks so much for being part of this, and we look forward to seeing you on the next roundtable.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Geneviève.
Okay, thanks.
Cool.
Bye.
Yeah. Thanks. Bye-bye.
So here we're seeing, I think, guys, a project that's a little more typical of what somebody might see, a commercial project that has a lot of timber elements and then this beautiful glass wall, which is your system at the end of it, correct? And I don't think people realize also that this is a really mature technology with some European roots. So I'd love to give you guys the opportunity to speak some more about the whole system as it works and how what your selling points are relative to energy or other features.
Definitely. So I'll just do a quick recap before and introduce Unicel. So Unicel, we've been in business for more than 55 years, and we specialize in high complexity aluminum structures such as solariums, skylights, and architectural curtain walls. We also have some specialty glazing products with louvers in between glass and stuff like that. A couple years ago, a little more than 2 years ago, we acquired a company called Ic2 Technologies, and Ic2 had that expertise with timber curtain walls. So they've been doing timber curtain walls for almost 10 years before that, working in close relationship with Ryco. Ryco is what we call in this industry the system provider. So they provide the system, the gasketing for the curtain wall technology, and we now at Unicel, we do all the design, the engineering, and the fabrication and sometimes the installation of that timber curtain wall. There's a lot of intricate details about the timber curtain wall. The main aspects of the timber curtain wall is, first, of course, you've got the look and feel and warmth of the timber as opposed to conventional aluminum. That timber curtain wall is also really, really energy performant. So this is a system that, when combined with the proper glazing, is passive house certified. And thermal performance is really important in terms of timber curtain wall, because you want to avoid any kind of condensation. You know, you want to protect the wood, so that's why you need that thermal performance. But then you get the added benefit over the lifespan of the building of having a higher performing envelope, and you can do things like we saw in the previous house, where you can have really glass on all facades when you have such a high performing system, you know, and preserving energy efficiency and comfort within the building. And the last aspect, the third most important aspect of that timber curtain wall, is that it can be load bearing. So when properly designed, it can be load bearing, and then that way you're much more efficient about the use of material. And you can, you don't need, let's say you have a large opening, you don't need a structure behind the curtain wall. You know, the curtain wall itself can be the structure. And we can reach really impressive spans too with that timber curtain wall. Traditionally, with aluminum, you're limited to a set of predefined extrusion. In this case, we work and we calculate on every project the optimal size, the optimal mullion size to reach the proper spans. And we can go for free spans that are above 20 feet. So this is a really nice feature of that product.
That is awesome. I think, Nic, it's probably fair to say we're not going to build all that expertise into one Revit family. So I'm gonna say, as we do upload this, that it comes along with access to the QWeb pre-construction service portal. Send us a note that you're using this and interested in more details, and you will actually have real people, real QWeb members like Felix and Samuel to answer your technical questions on this system and make sure they can see it through with your project. And I think this is a great start, guys. I know the market's going to be interested when this hits our plugin. So let's all plan another working meeting together to get as much as we possibly can packed into this, and then we'll let everybody know when it's uploaded.
That works.
All right. Thanks, Eli.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
See you
Eli.
all
Thanks,
soon.
Nic Catellier. Thanks, Felix.
Thanks.
Bye.
Well.